Welcome back, guys. As you can see, kind of looks the same it did before, but I did start gluing stuff together. These are now solid pieces. I also took the liberty of splitting it in half. Like I said before, they're going to need to scan it. I'm waiting for the okay to cut it again, because if I don't have to, I'd like not to. But, I mean, this is the basic layout. I'm probably going to bring these a little further back to add some dimension to it. I didn't really realize that once I put in the stairs, if I were to have them as far up as I had them before, once I put in the stairs, even if they're small, it's really only going to give a tiny bit of space. And while that might seem cool, I'm going to just, play it safe and push them back a little bit. It'll also give me more room in between them, because I want to put like a few big stalagmites and a few smaller ones, plus like all the debris. I'm keeping the pieces of this that were up here. And I'm going to, place them in the bottom. But like I said, after tile work is when that's done. So, really quick, before we get to doing what I was going to do, I got a new knife blade. Oh, yeah. It's actually really ratty and old, but it's just better than, not having any. I'm gonna battle damage this up a little bit. It looks like it was just cut and not cracked, so I'm going to do a little bit of that. There we go. Pretty simple stuff. Sorry, I'm way out of the camera's view. So, see, that's a little busted up now. And that's going to look a lot better. I'm surprised I haven't broken anything on camera yet, because I'm pretty dumb. So, yeah, that looks a lot better. I'm surprised I haven't broken anything. I probably will, but, let the record show that I've gotten, maybe I put 10 hours so far into this. Seems a little less believable, but I like doing all the blocks individually. You could probably do it a lot quicker if you don't want to put all the little time into every little individual thing. But yeah, let's do some stairs. As you can see, they're not really that high off the ground, and I might end up putting like a little spacer to make them just a little higher, so the stairs seem a little bit more important. But I don't really want to do that. Actually, yeah, I think I am going to do a little layer under that. So let's do that really quick. That's nothing too intense. All I'm going to do is take this piece of foam. You can see that this one's probably about 1/2 inch thick. It's what I used originally for their bases. I need to make myself a little bit more room here. So I'm just going to put it down. I'm not even going to draw anything. I'm just going to eyeball it. Crack off the little piece here, and I'm going to cut that in half. Boom, just like that. And that should be a pretty reasonable size. Look at that. Just with an eyeball. It's very simple. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that right now. I just dropped hot glue on the floor. Luckily, it's not hot yet. It's just the stick. Yay. So let me grab that. So I'm going to load that into the back there. Like I said, the hot glue gun, you want it to be pretty low melt so it doesn't go right through the foam. And you can see that when I layer that on, it's not like burning and bubbling. It's doing it a little bit, but nothing too crazy. And then I'm just going to place that right on top there. And that's all you need. It should be pretty sturdy for the time being. You should worry a little bit more about a fine, clean cut if you weren't going to cover it up later, but like I said, I'm going to be doing a hell of a lot of stuff for the base of this. So I'm not going to worry about that. It looks a little tiered there, but that's okay. I'm going to be building stairs around it. I'll put that where it needs to go. That looks cool. It's a little taller. I'll do the other one now, really quick and easy. Again, make sure that it's the same size, and this one's a tiny bit smaller, but pretty much the same thing. I'm going to do some glue. Another technique for glue is instead of actually putting the nozzle, barrel, whatever you want to call it, right to the glue, is actually let it fall. And it might seem a little silly, but it actually dries in the air a little bit. I shouldn't say dries, it cools in the air a little bit. So if you do have a higher melt gun, you can do that. It's not going to completely save you from the blight of it melting your stuff in half, but it will help a little bit. If you have like a medium melt gun, it's probably more relevant. So I got another tier on this. This is good. Let me put it back there. There we go. So, Shasha, there we go. And the reason I did that is because I'm actually looking at the weather top over here, and there's some stairs in the back, but not like a ton of stairs. Just a handful. And I think that might be what really captured them in the first place, because everyone there thought it was really, really cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Pretty much the same idea. I'm going to have them leading up to the archways. They're going to be just like over there, not like directly leading up to the archways, but most of them are going to be actually all over, but they'll really only be leading up to the archways because the rest is going to be covered with wreckage. So it's going to give the illusion that they once led everywhere, but really if the characters, or if you're doing, you know, wargaming, if any of your models wanted to walk up, they'd really only be able to get through the archways. So that'll be cool. It'll make my life a little easier because I'll have to do slightly less stairs. But that's why I did the extra tier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same thickness, this right here, same, not tame, that's goofy, and I'm going to cut it down the middle, and I might screw up a few times. I mean, I got lots of this stuff, so I'm not too worried, but that's what I'm going to do to make 4 of those, because it'll literally be me taking the ½ inch, which is now 2 ½ inch for a full inch, of pink foam, and be cutting it down the middle, which will lead to 4 stairs. Which will be perfect, and I think it'll be almost the exact same size as the one over there. I kind of lost track of my thought. That's okay, stairs time. I'm also going to be, I almost completely forgot about this until I read a little note I had on my little intense blueprint over there. Like I said, I barely use it. Is they said that they liked, over here, if you look at the back of the weather top, you'll notice that there's some stairs there, and I thought that was cool, but you can't really see it from the front. And since this is a movie, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do them towards the front. I have a lot of room over here, and I'm going to have them sloping up here and kind of like leading to like a drop-off where it like had broken. But I think what's going to be even cooler, and this is something that the Weathertop didn't really do, is I'm going to have like half of it have like a barrier, either just like broken rock, like it was carved out of rock, or maybe a wall that used to be there that's broken now. And then I'm going to have the other side completely broken off, like the stairs used to be bigger, and they're just going to have like snapped off and fell into the water or whatever. So it's going to be one half of the stairs with a wall, and the other half just breaking down into the water that I'm not making, but will be added computer generatedly later. So let's do it to it. I'm going to, again, set my phone down. Blood! It's red paint. And what I'm going to do, to make it a little easier on me, so I don't have to, you know, use a thin blade and cut this whole thing in half, which would be ridiculous, I'm going to cut them into the smaller stair-like sections before I do anything else. Again, you could probably buy thinner foam. You could probably buy foam core at, like, a Jewel Osco or something. I know people use those, for like school projects and stuff, but that actually kind of looks bad, and it's a little harder to work with unless you get like some really good stuff. So for the time being, I'm just going to use this. If it doesn't look right, which I don't see it being a big problem, because making the stairs will be very similar to making the bricks, and I'll probably use a lot of the same techniques. Of course, doing the stairs over here will be a lot more difficult, but over there it will be fine. What I'm probably going to do is using the exact same technique, so I don't need to worry about going and getting more stuff. But if it doesn't work out, I always have the backup plan. I should probably unplug my hot glue gun, because I'm not going to use it for just a second, and plug back in my wire cutter, because I may or may not need this. As you can see, I'm a very disorganized person once the project gets going, and I have stuff everywhere. So please don't do this. Trust me, it's not what you want. But I can't help it. So, stairs. I don't want them too thick. I'm going to do a slight, or not too wide, I should say. I want them wide. I don't want them very long. I guess it depends on which way you're looking at it. Kind of like on the Weathertop over there, how they're longer stairs and very short. So that's what we're going to do. I'll use my pen really quick to kind of draw everything out. Given the amount of space I need, I'm probably going to do... You know what, I'll just do a really long strip, and then I will go back and cut it in half and use the pieces I need. Because if I'm doing them like I'm doing the bricks, then it'll probably be beneficial for me to Okay, now you guys get to see how this works. It's just like a lightsaber. So if you ever used a lightsaber before, it's the exact same for all you Jedi Masters out there. I'm sorry that I'm such a nerd. But I suppose if you're getting use out of this video, it's probably good that I'm a nerd, not some bro or something of the like trying to teach you how to make a weather top. Because he probably wouldn't know what he's doing. Unless he's the most unbro-y bro of all time. Which I suppose there would be nothing wrong with. I'm not a discriminating person. Yes, I am. But I'm going to pretend I'm not because I'm on the internet now. If there's any time you can't be yourself and you should feel sheltered and not throw your ideals out there, it's the internet, right? I mean, that's what everybody else does. Can't wait to see the comments on this video where people tell me that I should perform oral sex on them because they can do a better job. But that's what the internet's for, right? Okay, so that's about the length I want. I'm gonna cut this down the middle. Again, if we're making bricks, it's not gonna be too big of a deal if they're not the same. So there's the 2-tiered steps. Like I said, I'm going to cut them down the middle, so this is not focusing. Like, this is just a big bunch of white. Can you refocus, camera? There you go. Okay, now you're not looking into the supernova. I actually just realized I should have done something cool. I wonder if the this is what I mean about not doing. Now these are dry. They're gonna say if you made these stepped and then do the steps on top of them. That would have been me thinking ahead, but you know what? That's not nearly as fun as figuring it out by yourself. But it is as productive. So I'm gonna cut these down the middle so I can do tiered steps. What I'm gonna do first, and no, screw it. I'm just gonna cut them right down the middle. I kind of want to use my hobby knife, but this seems like this would work too, so I'm just gonna try to do this. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just going to use this thing to go straight down the middle. Again, that gravity that I was talking about earlier comes in handy. Okay, so now I have flat tiered step pieces like that. That looks not too shabby. Of course, I'm going to square it off and round it because it's very jagged. That's what happens with this big, thick one. Like I said, you can't make as precise of cuts. But it's all I got. And it might all be what you got, too.